We are here with Tye Harris. Tye, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what tattoo shop you work at? Basic information.
Well, I'm from Texas, kind of all over Texas. I've just kind of always bounced around since I was a teenager. My shop's in Kyle, Texas, Faces in the Dark.
How long has it been opened?
About 1.5 years now.
What kind of crew do you have there?
Really good crew. All kinds of different styles. Most people there lean towards black and gray realism, so, you know, I mean, I guess naturally, working for me, that's where everybody kind of leans towards, but...
You are located in Kyle, Texas, not really a town that very many people know. Why did you choose Kyle, Texas?
I lived there for about 5 years while I was just traveling, doing conventions, guest spots, and yeah, it came time to open a shop. It just seemed like the place to be, you know. I like small towns.
What's it like going, you tattooed in New York City for a long time, right?
Yeah.
What's it like going from a place like New York City, such a big city, to such a small town?
Amazing.
Is it
Yeah.
harder to find the client, or is your clientele willing to travel to?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, the clients, and that's another reason I opened up in Kyle is, you know, I didn't need to be in a big city. I don't need walk by traffic. I don't need, you know, all these things that you kind of need to open a shop, because I was already established. Thank God, because of Facebook.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
I like the small town living.
Did you own your own shop in New York City?
I just traveled up there, just doing pretty much just tattooed out of my apartment.
Yeah.
You know, up in Brooklyn, and then I did some guest spots at my buddy Bang Bang's shop, and then now I go up there and guest spot at No Idols.
Okay, that's a great shop to go to.
Oh,
I mean,
it's
that's
killer, man, killer crew.
That has a great group of guys there. John Mesa.
Oh
right?
yeah, they're all
That's
so good up there.
Yeah, exactly. We're a big fan of that shop. You've tattooed all over the world.
Oh yeah.
What are some of your favorite places to go to?
Hawaii for sure is my favorite. That's my favorite place to go. It's where I'm gonna end up one day.
Okay, very exciting. So we were at Tattoo this weekend. What did you work on, and how did you enjoy the convention?
The convention was great, man. LT killed it. As far as promoting the show and getting clients and getting people in the door, and I mean, taking care of the artists with the artist lounge, and you know, the breakfast every day and the lunch, and I mean, it was just really on point, man. Super impressed with the show. On the tattoos I did. Friday I did like a cool video game piece from The Evil Within. What did I do yesterday was a cool Clint Eastwood tattoo. Yeah, Clint Eastwood. And today was Lion with a Crown, classic Tye.
Yep, exactly. I was gonna say I saw the piece today and it just screams your name.
Yeah, big cats.
Do you have any advice for clients looking to get portrait work from you?
Be kind of open, you know. Don't have your heart set on, I have to have it this way in this photo. You know, like the best thing you can do with getting a portrait is bring 5 to 10 really clear photos that you'd be willing to wear forever, and let the artist pick, you know.
Do you have any advice for up and coming tattoo artists that are similar, that look up to you as a mentor?
Stay humble.
Yeah.
You know, it's the best thing you can do. Just stay humble, you know. It's the biggest thing I see with young tattooers. Just kind of want to get ahead of themselves, you know?
How much time do you spend with the change of technology? A lot of artists are moving to a digital format.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend on a digital platform versus pen and paper still?
I mean, I still use hand stencils. I'm not one of these iPad guys. You know, I don't use like digital stencils or nothing like that.
Have you looked into it at all?
Yeah, I mean, I got the iPad and I tried it. You know, I think it's really good for designing things. As far as like making stencils, it's not for me. Like, zooming in, I just start marking off too many things. You know, I do use a lot of Photoshop. I design every single tattoo with Photoshop. Okay. And I've only been doing that for maybe 6 years, so it's definitely been a crazy improvement from the first 6 years to the last 6 years. You know?
So do you typically go on, so I know a lot of artists use Google references, obviously. Yeah. Do you typically go on to Google and find references and throw those into Photoshop and mock them up, or what do you do?
I mean,
how's your design process?
It kind of depends, you know. I mean, if they want a portrait, not really much designing going into it. I mean, something a little more unique. I usually just try to, because everybody's pulling shit off of Google, you know? I mean, you can take it and go, oh, I'm going to make it different, or I'm going to do it my way. Someone's still done that tattoo 1,000 times. Yeah. So I think it's super important to find 5-6 references,
Mm-hmm.
blend them together, you know, and just make a new photo. You know, so you still have all these really good high resolution photos. And there are other websites like depositphotos.com, Shutter, what is it, Shutterstock?
Shutterflyers, Shutterstock.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really good websites, and they have subscriptions now where you can do like $30 a month and you can get whatever you want on there. A lot of cool shit that's not on Google, you know? So yeah, I think a lot of people use Google maybe a little
bit too
much. It's kind of the new wall of flash.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
What else are you into besides tattooing?
Man, I like playing video games when I have time.
Yeah.
I tattoo like 28 days a month, so I don't have
It's a lot.
a lot of time to really do anything else, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Me and Becca, we love traveling. It's the best thing that I ever get to do, for sure, is just take some time off and hit a beach somewhere.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I've heard a rumor that you are into Insane Clown Posse quite a bit. I heard that you're actually a juggalo, but
Yeah.
can you talk about your fascination with Insane Clown Posse and how it kind of evolved your tattoo career?
Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy, you know. I was just 13 years old, just like I guess any other juggalo from the 90s. You know what I mean? Just this kind of weird, awkward kid, and didn't really know what kind of music I liked or what kind of crowd to fit into. And yeah, I just really liked ICP. It was just goofy, stupid music. You know, I liked it.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of a goofy, stupid dude, so
Yeah.
it worked for me. And then I hadn't seen my brother in like 5 years, and then he came down back to Texas. And I didn't really know him at this point. I was 13, you know, I hadn't seen him since I was 8.
Yeah.
And all he had in his CD case was just ICP. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, you're a juggalo, I'm a juggalo. So it's cool. And then like one night he came home and he's like, are you going to be real mad at me, bro? And he pulled up his pant leg and there was a Hatchet Man tattoo. And the Hatchet Man's, you know,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
logo
yeah.
for their record label. And I was so fucking mad that he did that without me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like went right out the next day and I
Got your own Hatchet
got
Man?
my own for $10 from this dude at the house, you know, and then I went back the next day, and the next day I went back every day for about 10 days,
Ooh.
and yeah, just single needle, homemade scratcher shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, my legs are just covered in ICP tattoos
These aren't as bad as I was expecting.
all around. Yeah, they could have been way worse.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's funny.
But yeah, that's just kind of how I just kind of got obsessed with tattoos, which is this brotherly competition.
It's an interesting story because I've heard it from, I don't remember what artist I heard it from, but they did say like, oh, you know, Tye Harris is a juggalo. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And they're like, no. I was like, okay, well, if I ever talk to him, I gotta hear the story behind it.
Yeah. So yeah, that definitely fueled the tattooing, you
Yeah.
know, because he was like, oh, you got how many? And then he'd go get one, and it was just
It was a competition.
a competition, you know. This other
I know
guy
how
in
that
town
is.
liked ICP, then he's like, oh, you ain't gonna get more ICP tattoos than me.
Have you ever met the guys from ICP?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, a bunch of times.
Have you showed them your leg?
I haven't. My buddy
They would
showed
probably
him.
find it hilarious.
My buddy has like 2 full sleeves, his whole chest,
Yeah.
both legs, his back, his whole body with the same guy, the single needle kind of scratcher stuff, and he showed ICP, and they were a little bit uncomfortable with how many ICP tattoos he had. So I was like,
That's
I don't
hilarious.
need to show him.
One of my favorite photos of you is with Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Where did you meet Ric Flair at?
Man, another crazy thing about tattooing, dude. Like, when I was like 10 years old, 11, I wanted to be a professional wrestler.
Mhm.
Until I was 17, 18. Like, it was a passion. I really fucking loved it. I wanted to be a professional wrestler. And, I just being 17, 18.
Yeah. Yep.
Life happened,
Yep.
went in crazy directions, ended up being a tattooer. Flash forward 13 years. This singer, Skylar Gray, hits me up for a tattoo. She's signed to Shady Records. She's written a lot of real famous songs, and she started getting tattooed from me. We started talking about, interest and this and that, and she heard I was a wrestling fan back in the day. And, well, it just turns out the next year, the WWE asked her to do the halftime show at WrestleMania.
Interesting.
So she messaged me and she's like, hey, do you want to go to WrestleMania? And I was like, well, fuck yeah. So like, she got them to get us a hotel room, and like they got us backstage passes and front row tickets, and I mean we showed up the day before it happened, and they were setting up the stage and all this. They came to me specifically, and they were like, we were told to tell you specifically, do not take pictures of anything back here. They just knew I was a fan. And we're walking out there, and they're setting up the stage, they're testing the pyro.
Yeah.
Travis Barker's doing his like solo rehearsal and shit. It's crazy, mind blowing. So they're testing the pyro, and I'm like standing by the ring. I'm like, oh, they're going up there. So I start walking up the ramp, and then boom, they're testing the pyro. Fucking WrestleMania, big as fuck, lights going off. The ring's behind me. I'm on the ramp, and I turned around and looked at the ring. The pyro's going off behind me, and I just put my hands up. You know, I was like, I'm on the fucking stage of WrestleMania with pyro. Like, this was like my childhood dream. You know, like most people that actually become professional wrestlers will never get to stand where I stood. You know?
Yeah.
So it was mind blowing that tattooing took me all the way back to that, and I achieved that, not even knowing that this would bring me there. Oh. So it was a trip. And then I run into Ric Flair backstage, and I was like, dude, I gotta get a photo.
I was going through your Instagram a couple weeks ago, and I saw the picture of Ric Flair, and I was like, I wonder where he met him at. I wasn't sure if it was a meet and greet, but
no, just backstage at WrestleMania. Skylar, she asked me, what's like, what are you most excited about? I was like, I just want to talk to the Undertaker.
Did you talk to the Undertaker?
Did.
Yeah.
He said he wants a couple portraits. He lives like 15 minutes from me.
I knew he lived in Texas.
Which is crazy. I thought he lived in Houston, but he's really close to Austin. And then I said, I just want to get a picture of Ric Flair. So we saw Ric Flair leave and had his Gucci bag and his little fucking hot bitch on his side and his suit.
Did you watch the Ric Flair document, the 30 for 30 documentary?
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Made me tear up a couple times. Love that man.
It was very interesting to hear the stories behind his family life, but then the actual professional world life.
Yeah. It seems like most of those dudes really get sucked into a world they didn't expect.
Yeah, a world of partying. The story of him talking to his therapist, or the about when he quit drinking.
Oh yeah.
He hadn't quit drinking for like years, and the therapist was like, "You should be dead," and he's like, "Well, I'm not dead."
Yeah.
Very interesting.
He's like, "Oh, you're lying to me. There's no way you drink that much every day."
I apparently have to go to WrestleMania at some point. I've never been, but
you have to.
I need
man.
to. I've heard so many fun stories from there.
It's insane, man. That day of WrestleMania will probably always be one of the greatest days of my life.
That's funny.
It wasn't, dude. I mean, we got there. It's early. Like, oh, let's go get some food. So we go in there, the cafeteria. All these dudes are like in their fucking tights, and they're like, they're ready to go. You know what I mean? But they're all getting fucking Lucky Charms, and they got their eggs and their pancakes. And we sit down. I sit at this table, and there's the entire NWO. There's Hulk Hogan. There's Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. There's DX. There's Ric Flair. There's fucking Pat Patterson. Oh, Vince McMahon's walking through. Like, I didn't even eat. I just sat there like this, just looking at these guys. It was awesome, man. I felt like I was 12 years old again.
All right, back to tattooing.
Yeah.
A few more tattooing questions. Do you have any artists that you really look up to that you don't think get enough credit in the industry?
Man, I mean, I think everybody that's killing it right now, thanks to Instagram, I don't think it takes long. I think people are getting recognized real quick. It's a weird time in the industry.
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
You could be tattooing for a year and suck for 9 months, and then you
take off. Yep.
And then at a year and 2 months, you're famous. You're insta famous, and you're booked, and you're charging whatever you want. You know what I mean? So it's. I mean, I can't even honestly really think of any. I think everyone that I think is killing it is getting recognition for it. You know, someone told me a long time ago, good art doesn't go unrecognized, and it's very true. You know, I don't think there's anybody out there that's on that level that's no one's really looking at, unless they just refuse to kind of put themselves out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. So, last question: if people are interested in getting tattooed by you, what's the process? What's your vetting process for choosing tattoos? How should they get in touch with you?
If you want to
what kind of wait list should they look at?
I mean, I'm booked till January, I think. I don't book out more than like 8 months at a time. Yeah, I try to keep it at 6. Sometimes it kind of goes over, but I try to cap it off at 6. If you want to get a tattoo from me, you can email Tye@facesinthedark.com. The vetting process is kind of it's kind of weird, circumstantial. You know what I mean?
No, I understand.
Depends on what I want to do at the time.
Yep.
This next year, 2019, I really just want to, the rest of this year and the next year, I just want to focus on more portraits. You know, I kind of feel like I got stuck into being the black and gray guy, and I didn't want to be the black and gray guy. I wanted to be the portrait guy. Okay. You know, so yeah, I mean, I feel like portraits are what brought me to the game. You know, like what got me recognition, made me who I am. So I'm gonna go back to that and really focus on that again.
Okay. Well, cool. I know you're gonna go grab dinner, so I appreciate you sitting down and talking with
Absolutely,
us. We
man. Thank
appreciate
you.
it, and we are big fans of your work. And if anybody's interested in following Tye, your Instagram is
Tye Harris.
there. You go. Go and follow him on Instagram. Thank you very much.
Thanks.